children from all walks of life are taken to school. And the good news is that the enrollment has now in secondary schools moved from 1.3 million to over 3.5 million in 2022. As a matter of fact, the difference between last year and this year's candidature was 10%, which means, as people say a lot of things out there, we are focused on making sure that children go to school. So don't listen to foreigners who say, oh, children go, but they don't reach this class. Where did the 10% come from, if that is true? Our secondary schools, especially the sub-county secondary schools, 75% of them are completely free. The government pays for them. And we have been sure, we made sure, we want to thank the President for releasing the money on time. The money was released a week ago. The money is in school accounts. It is there because we don't want our children to suffer when they report. A Kenyan child is going to report to a Kenyan school being run by a Kenyan teacher. And Kenyan money has been paid to make sure he is not sent home. So let us not hear that somebody has decided that he or she has his own school and that the child should go and look for money. Let us be reasonable, because parents have really tried. People have lost jobs across the world. It is a reality. The fact that we are very comfortable, we must never for once forget that there may be people who are struggling. And my instruction from the President is to ensure that every child is in school. So start discussing about school fees for those who can pay after the lessons have started. On our side, we shall ensure that payments that are required are given on time. So as far as secondary school is concerned, during the President's tenure of office, a staggering 325 billion Kenya shilling has been paid to 23 million to 832,734 learners in public primary schools, in public secondary schools since 2013, and a total of 1.52 billion to 34,194 special needs learners in 768 public schools. This is a record, and I want to thank our African brothers for coming. It is way ahead of every other country. You have to clap for that one, whether you like it or not. You want to economize. The fourth thing I want to mention under the President's leadership is the Elimu Scholarship Program. Very quickly, this Elimu Scholarship Program is geared to a total of 27,000 students going to school for 4 years. I want to urge the incoming administration, if they are worth their salt, to ensure that this scholarship continues, so that the poor can also break the ceiling, like we did, like I did for my family. That is the challenge of the next government. In 2017, the government also insured all public secondary school children by paying Kenya shilling 4 billion per year. So any child who is sick in public secondary school is taken and treated free of charge, and the bills are paid by the National Hospital Insurance Fund. By the way, just to say that since we are still recruiting for the scholarship, even if the timelines have expired, if your child passed well and you are very poor, still apply. We shall come to look for you. I think it's your right. A lot has been said about the competency-based curriculum, so I'm not going to waste my time there, except that by the grace of God, and God is great. Next week, we are going to have grade 6. Who is it that wants to say they are going to scrap CBC at this time? We are not introducing CBC, we are actually midwifing and moving along with it. And the government is fully prepared. I am not going to repeat what Sister Nancy Machara has said about teachers. The teachers are extremely adequate and they are going to continue to prepare. We have constructed already 6,470 classrooms, just a few to be completed within a week or two. The classrooms are physical, we have inspected them. If you like, you can go and inspect them yourselves. And they have been constructed at 7. It's very interesting. We are leaving office having told you that if you come up again with bills of 1.2 million, we know for sure that you are stealing government money. And I think the agencies should come for you. So we should be able to complete the 10,000 classrooms which the President promised in Mashujaa Day as we leave office, because the balance of 3,500 classrooms or so should start next month, and by the grace of God, digital infrastructure is a story that we are very, very familiar with. More than 95% of public primary schools have got the gadgets. The remaining ones, and especially the new ones, we are continuing to provide them with the gadgets. And himself, for having had the courage to reopen the schools when he did, and to thank all the benefactors who helped us with masks, including the government who manufactured a lot of masks, including the Ministry of Health who gave us a lot of masks, and that it is by the grace of God that we have normalized. But let us not normalize in the African way. This is the last stretch of normalcy. So I'm glad to see that our union leaders are here, both Missouri, who is very dangerous, and the other one. That let us play for this year. Let us play politics of sobriety. We have not normalized yet. You can open fire from next year, but now let us work with us so that we are able to get where we are going. From 2018, the government of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has spent 33.38 billion Kenya shilling in these books. This is important because this is the equalizer. If you empower an intelligent child from the slums, then that child will perform just as well. Progressively as a country, we should work towards going even further to ensure that we provide a variety of learning materials to enrich teaching and learning experience as equalizers. We have also purchased 627,357 desks, both in public, primary and secondary schools, at the cost of Kenya shilling 1.9 billion. It's not a story. We went to the workshops, we saw the desks, they are in classes. I also want to thank government for having allocated again another 600 million shillings for this sector, We shall sit back and identify where it is pinching most, whether it is the classrooms in the high school or more classrooms, and this money will have to be used as we are still in office. In terms of our girl child, I get disappointed when members of parliament slash money for sanitary pads, like the current one, which they slashed from 470 million to 260 million. But nevertheless, since 2018, this government has spent 3.017 billion on sanitary towels for 7,515,864 girls. It is a matter of human dignity, and I think it is money well spent. And of course, you now know there are no traders in between. I was ordered by the president to ensure there are no traders in between. We go to the factory and get the cheapest products, and they are produced and taken to the field. And perhaps some people are not happy with that one. But that would be the best, because then you produce more sanitary towels for the children. When the child gets the pack of towels and takes home, it becomes a family property, and there's not very much the government can do. So the more you give them, the better. The government has connected power to nearly all schools, over 94%. And this has also benefited the connectivity around the households around schools. And facilities for SNE learning have been improved. You are aware that for SNE candidates in secondary schools, the capitation is 53,807. It's an affirmative action. And perhaps one of the most transformative things that I have personally been involved in is the school feeding program. You can have documentation that you are fed, but the only way you can know you are fed is to go to the child. And we are now glad to say we are producing, and this credit goes to the president anyway, it's not mine, and the Mutu Mkono. We are producing corn soya mixture, which is fortified and is being given to children. We follow the production, we follow the transport, and we follow the implementation. So if you go to the slums, you find the children are chubby because they are having a meal that is good for their brain. And since we are in another class, nobody is clapping. You know, this country has gone. This our country is in very serious trouble, because the only way we shall have peace. The president also ordered that we buy all rice from Mwea and from Kisumu, which was done, and the rice has been sent. Children have rice and beans, but he has even gone further, buying cows which otherwise would have died from the semi-arid areas. We are at a stage now, unless somebody interferes, of buying cold beef from Kenya Meat Commission, so that children can have a smell of meat at least once a week, if not twice a week. Now that is better now. Now, I think there are many other things that the president has done, but I think I want to go to what the children are waiting for. The 2021 Kcse examination candidature, 826,807 candidates sat for examination in 2021 compared to 747,000. That's an increase of 10.66%. So the busybodies, whether they are local or foreign, who keep saying, oh, these children go to school but they don't finish, or 30% don't finish, it's all lies. I don't know whether it's meant to get money to come and steal in this country. But the point is, we have made sure the children have gone to school and they have remained in school. And we have the data because we look at human bodies, not figures, isn't it? Of the 826,000 who sat for the exam, 421,000 were male, 4 or 5,000 were female. So point here is that gender parity is there. 50.9, 49.1. So we have had gender parity. 18 counties had more female candidates than males, and the only thing that I was telling His Excellency the President this morning is that all counties in Central region have more females in class. So I don't know whether they are more fertile there, but the others are Taita Taveta, Machakos, Kitui, Meru, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kakamega, Vihiga, Tharaka Nithi, Uasin Gishu, Laikipia, and Kisumu. Performance, we had 11 subjects recording significant improvement this year compared to 19 subjects last year. There was no significant change in 7 of them. There were 1,138, which is 0.14 candidates who scored overall grade of A plane, compared to last year's 0.12%. Don't be too happy because the numbers also increased. So the number of candidates with a minimum university, the so-called minimum university entrance, I'm saying so because you don't have to go to university. Some may have passed well and they will go somewhere else. With C+ and above, rose to 145,000, which is 17.47% as compared to last year, which was 143,000 but stood for 19%. It is the wish of government and His Excellency the President that all these 145,000 should join universities, and those who want to join TVET for advanced courses are also welcome to join them. The job of the next government is to provide money to ensure that they remain in the university system. The number of candidates with a minimum TVET diploma courses, which is grade C- and above, 39.27%. But having said so, I rush to tell you that all the other candidates are qualified to join TVET and to do courses at various levels, certificate, diploma, and what have you. So, in terms of A's, female 349, male 789. A-, female 2,154, male 3,819. B+, female 5,199, male 8,264. B stand, female is 10,000, male is 14,000, and so on and so forth. This will be given to you. Candidates with special needs. This is a special group of candidates. There were 223 candidates, which is 10.52%, who obtained an overall grade C+ and above. And he had B stand, 68 had B-, and 86 at C+. In the 2021 Kcse examinations, our sub-county schools, which have been alluded to by both the Principal Secretary and the CEO Teacher Service Commission, will form the future of this country. Government has deliberately invested in these day schools. They are almost 75% of all schools. So they registered an excellent performance. A total of 17,327 attained a mean grade of C+ and above, with 128 of them getting a mean grade of A- and above. This demonstrates that children can excel in sub-county day schools. For me, as a practicing physician, I think day schools are even much better because then they also go and communicate with the parents. So the madness of boarding school disappears. Because if you cause a lot of problem at home, they tell you today you are not eating. But no teacher can dare tell us children in the boarding school that you are not eating. Everything will erupt. The following are the 10 best performing sub-county schools. The first one is from Nyanza. It's called Kcse Secondary School. The performance index is 65.2. Second one is Kebulonik Secondary School in the Rift Valley. With a large entry, the performance index is 57. Banisa Mixed Secondary School in Mandera for Northeastern. Manyata Mixed Secondary School in Eastern. Shibanga Mixed Secondary School in Western. Heni Secondary School in Heni Secondary School in Central. Mary Happy Day School. Mary Happy Day School, if there's such a school, yes. And then, of course, Al-Farsi Girls Secondary School. The following are the best performing candidates in our in sub-counties per region. The first one, Anthony Juguna Muhoro. Anthony Juguna Muhoro is from Kiamaina Secondary School and has a score of 84.634. The second one, Owino Eric from Akoko Secondary School in Nyanza. The score is 83.71. The third one is Karuiza Clinton from Angaine Mixed Day Secondary School in Eastern. The score is 81.449. The next one is Kcse Alukoti Dile from Matunda Secondary School, Matunda Day Secondary School, with 81.237. The other one, the following one is Diangui Frank Wagura from St. James Kiarithia Secondary School in Central with 79.4. Following one is Mulei Kelvin from Dandora Secondary School, Dandora. And the Dandora one, 79.213. Mkirimia Dennis Mwamburi, that's the last one, from the coast with, apologize in public, the name is Ronald Kipko from Kiblabotwa Secondary School. Is that in Rifan? Kiblabotwa Secondary School, 74.9. Siyo ni mzuri? So don't let everyone not want to go to the ones you know. Improved candidates with KP scores as baseline. Coast, we have picked one from every region. One from the coast, you have Mbilo Boniface Wambua, who had 241 marks in Kcse, has gotten a B stand from a sub-county school in Yukini Mixed Secondary School. The next one is Maina Humphrey Mwangi from Gadirwini Secondary School, and he originally had 211. He has gotten a B stand. The third one is Kituku Simon Mavi, 221, B stand from ABC Bambusu Secondary School. The next one is Njoroge Kelvin Mwangi, Jehovah Jireh Secondary School. From 207 to a B stand. Next one is Chepto Sharon from Lelu Secondary School, from 267 to A minus. The next one is Shawiza Isaac from Makuchi Secondary School, and from 242 to a B stand. Second last, Okoth Cindy Adhiambo, Sigoti Complex Girls Secondary School. Extra county one, is that? That's an extra county school, so I will not read that one. You can ignore. Or I just read? Yes. Thank you. Okoth Cindy Adhiambo, Sigoti Complex, went there with 165 points. She has scored a B minus. And finally, Najma Mohammed Hassan, 113 to a B stand. Banisa Mixed Secondary School. The import of what I have gone through is that there is opportunity in every school. You will decide. There tends to be a tendency that the national schools do better. Of course, they are regimented. There is thorough discipline there. Go to Kcse, go to Kenya High School, go to Alliance. Children don't have time to think about, iko kibriti ko wapi. Do you get the point? And you can create that culture in any school, even during the day, even the day schools. There are some most improved schools according to candidature, but I think now the top students are dying. Let me go to them. So our emphasis basically is squarely in the sub-counties. 15 overall 16-year-olds, which means they're underages. Those children who are 16 years and below. The top candidate there is Brenda Cherotich from Kcse Girls High School with a score of 87.066, followed by Brian Deto, Starehe Boys Center and School, 86.721, followed by Mwendo Jane Mutheu, St. Teresa Mboni Girls High School, 86.6. Arnold Felix Oguda Okach, how many names? Arnold Felix Oguda Okach, Kabianga High School, 86.5. Mutua Fabian Mutisia, 86.4, Mangu High School. Njuguna Masi Wanjiko, Pangani Girls, 85.971. I will read this last one. Mutuku Gloria Wavinya, Alliance Girls High School, 85.8. And then Ntenya Doti Sweetie. Is that a name? Ntenya Doti Sweetie, the Kenya High School, 85.644. Tadesha Purity Ngina, 85.5, Precious Blood Riruta. Nalianya Keith Leslie, Alliance Girls High School. No, Alliance High School. Nalianya Keith Leslie, Alliance High School. And Kialo Peter Mumo, St. Charles Luanga. Sitati Shama Wekesa, 84.9, Nairobi School. Orangi Mitunda Devon, Friends Kamusinga. Otieno Evans Omondi, Mbita High School at 84 point. They are all 84 around there. 15 overall special needs, I'll just read 5 of them. The first one is Ruben Osoro, 83.4 from Kcse Boys. Agot Saulo Olango, 83.2, Maranda High School. Otieno Omondi Stanley, 80.4, Maseno School. Murugu Ayan, Mutevia, Mangu High School, 79.3. Precious Zawadi Machuka, Moi Girls School Eldoret, 79.3. And Gatulaki Guy from Chesamisi High School. So, yeah, because what we are waiting for is what I have not read. Or did this... Dr. There is something missing here. The list of the top students. Let me talk about irregularities as the CEO gets me the list of the top students. Because it's like they didn't want me to read it, but I have to read it. Ahead of this examination, the government has heightened measures meant to preempt any forms of cheating through combined efforts of all members of the multi-agency team. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you that the intellectual property of the container I got from Uganda. The container we got from Uganda. And the container, when I was there in northern Uganda, I found a ragtag soldier guarding the container outside the church. And I said, this is the answer. We have bettered it to the extent that we shrink wrap our material and ensure that there are 8 security features. And we also use the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Education to ensure that 2 people open. And those locks are manufactured somewhere and you can't duplicate the key. So the issue of ever leaking, that one, you use it for promotive and speculative purposes because it doesn't happen. The problem we now have, which the people must deal with, is one. As the exam leaks, we have about 10,500 center managers. If only 2 of them open and put in the internet, then everybody says, oh, the exam has leaked. You find my own officer saying the exam has leaked. As a result, I have personally allowed the 4th estate to look through our security features. And like hell, they have never bothered to air it. So I keep wondering, am I spoiling business for you? Because the exam shall not leak unless another government comes and says now, we are not going to use security forces to follow the exam. Are we together here? So we also said that anybody who is found attempting to interfere with the integrity of the exam will be dealt with squarely. And that's what I'm going to go through right now. Because for irregularities, we have withheld results for one very big school, pending further investigation, because we want to be fair. As a result of this enhanced vigilance was that nearly all cases of cheating that would have occurred were prevented. You will remember that I promulgated a decree, which was mine, that no cell phone in the schools except for 2 people. Now that cut off even those who had taken a photo, they could not get the results back. The country would bear me witness that many mobile phones that would have been used to relay exposed examination materials were confiscated before they would be used. However, there are 441 cases reported in 2021 examination and 1 case of the entire center. I wish to categorically state that NEC will not have NEC will not have any mercy. You know what mercy means? on examination offenders who must be dealt with decisively according to NEC's regulations and the laws of the land. Consequently, examination results of all 441 cases have been cancelled. And the 441 cases involved, for your information, unauthorized materials, 211 mobile phones, 220 and 203 mobile phones, 223, impersonation 8, collusion 6, causing disturbance. I think one student was almost beating the teacher, 1. Total 441. So those ones are like that. Before I declare, the following 15 are the overall candidates who have topped the examination this year. I don't know why my team didn't want me to read them for you. Number 1, from Mangu High School. Jeriel, you are clapping, I have not even read the name. Jeriel Ndeda Obura. Mean score 87.167. Number 2, Mokuha Timothy Kamau. Mean score 87.139. Alliance High School. Number 3, Job Ngara. 87.1. Mangu High School. Number 4, Chege David Kamau. St. Joseph Boys Kitale, 87. Number 5, Ramadan Musa Tepo, 87.1, Light Academy. Number 6, Muendo Cicely Mudeu, 87.086, the Kenya High School. The following, Ian Mwai Toyota, 87.08, Kakamega High School. Rita Shekina, 87.079, Kenya High School. Number 9, Mshindi Daniel Ouma, Light Academy, 87. Brenda Cherotich, Kcse Girls High School, 87. Mugane Job Ngatia, Strathmore School. Pretty Ariona Adaga, Kcse Boys, 87. Mutethia Caleb Ngumbao, Mangu High School, 87. Abia Melanie Melima, Kenya High School. And finally, Maina Millicent Wamuru, Kenya High School. I deliberately did not start with those names because then you would not have listened to the others, which are very important. Because our children are our children, isn't it? I want to urge those people who are flooding me with requests for schools that the children can do well in any school that is funded by government. I'm now happy, ladies and gentlemen, to declare the 2021 Kcse examination results officially released. I wish all candidates success in their future. Where is the key to the code? Where is the code? The code. There is somebody who is against the children. Which code are they? What do I tell them?
20076. 20076.
They dial direct.
With the index number.
Yeah, so in order to access the results, your index number followed by 20076. Actually, that's what they are waiting for, and you don't put it here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now we request our CEO and the chairman of the council,